Blockchain technology is trendy nowadays. But what is a blockchain? How does it work, what problems it solves, and how can it be used? As the name indicates, a blockchain is a chain of blocks that contains information. This technique was initially described in 1991 by a group of researchers. It was originally intended to timestamp digital documents so that it is impossible to backdate them or tamper with them, almost like a notary. However, it went by mostly unused until Satoshi Nakamoto adapted it in 2009 to create the first digital cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. A blockchain is a distributed ledger that is completely open to anyone. They have an interesting property. Once some data has been recorded within the blockchain, it becomes difficult to change it. How does that work? Well, let's take a closer look at the block. Each block contains some data, a block hash and a previous block hash. The data stored within a block depends on the type of blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain, for example, stores details about the transaction here, such as sender, receiver, and amount of money. The block also has a hash. You can compare the hash of a fingerprint. It identifies a block and its contents, and it's always unique, just as a fingerprint. Once a block is created, its hash has been calculated. Changing something inside a block will cause the hash to change. So, in other words, hash is handy when you want to detect changes in blocks. If the fingerprint changes a block, it is no longer the same block. The third element inside each block is the hash of the previous block. This effectively creates a chain of blocks, and it's this technology makes the blockchain so secure. Let's take an example. Here we have a series of 3 blocks. As you can see, each block has a hash and the previous block's hash. So the block number 3 points to block number 2 and the number 2 points to number 1. The first block is a little unique, and it can't refer to previous blocks because it's the first one. We call this the Genesis block. Now, let's tell you tamper with the second block. This causes the hash of the block change as well. In turn, that will make block 3 and all following invalid because no longer store a valid hash of the previous block. Using hashes only is not enough to prevent tampering. Computers these are very fast and can calculate thousands of hashes per second. You could effectively tamper with a block and recalculate all the hashes of other blocks to make it valid again. Mechanism called proof of work makes it slow and steady the creation of new blocks. In Bitcoin case, it takes about 10 minutes to calculate the requires proof of work and add a new block to the chain. This mechanism makes it very difficult to tamper with blocks because if you tamper with one block, you will need to recalculate the proof of work for all subsequent blocks. So the security of the blockchain comes from the innovative use of hashing and proof of work mechanism. But there is one more way blockchains secure themselves, that's by being distributed. Instead of using a central entity to manage the chain, blockchain use a peer-to-peer network that allow anyone to join. When someone joins this network, he gets a full copy of the blockchain. The node can use this to verify that everything is still in order. Now let's see what happens when someone makes a new block. That new block is sent to everyone on the network. Each node then checks a block to ensure it has not been tampered with. Suppose everything checks out each node and adds this block to their blockchain. All nodes in this network create a consensus. They agree on what blocks are valid and which are not. Blocks that are tampered with will be rejected from other nodes in the network. To successfully tamper with the blockchain, you will need to tamper with all the blocks on the chain, redo the proof of work for each block and take control more than 50% of the peer-to-peer network. Only then your tempered block become accepted by everyone else. This is almost impossible to do. Blockchains are also constantly evolving. One of the most recent developments in the creation of smart contracts. These contracts are simple programs stored on the blockchain and can be used to exchange crypto based on certain conditions automatically. More information on smart contracts will be in a video later. The creation of blockchain technology has piqued a lot of people's interest. Soon, others realized that the technology could be used to store medical records, create a digital notary, or even collect taxes. So now you know what a blockchain is, how it works on fundamental level, and what problems it solves? A simple example is a Bitcoin transaction. Ali wants to send some Bitcoin to Abu, and the Bitcoin network has two keys, a public key and a private key. It's like an address everyone in the network knows, just like a traditional bank account number. Anyone has Abu bank account numbers that can transfer money to him. A private key is like Abu's ATM PIN, only Abu knows. Anyone who has the PIN can access and transfer Abu's money, so he needs to keep it private. Using encryption algorithms, the private key is the digital signature in the blockchain to authorize the transaction. Different cryptocurrencies use different hashing algorithms and different blockchains. Bitcoin is the SHA-256, Ethereum is using ETH-hash, both using proof of work, but Ethereum is moving to proof of stake. Many other cryptocurrencies use different hashing algorithms, blockchains, and further cryptographic proof computational mechanisms to solve various problems. All these transaction information will be validated by miners and added to the blockchain by solving a mathematical problem using computational codes and problem-solving instructions. Now, let's look into a simple example of a blockchain application. A supermarket company used blockchain technology to provide its customer with better services and quality products in the supply chain. The objective is to identify the point of failure from farm to storage to transportation to processing before reaching the retail. By using blockchain, the quality of the goods at each step was permanently inscribed with a block within the chain in the entire supply chain, thus helping improve effort. This is just one of several blockchains in real-life application, but the unlimited technology potential. To subscribe to our channel and like our videos, we shall learn more coming soon. Thank you.